Situated on the western outskirts of the Haidian district, the Summer Palace is 15 kilometers from central Beijing. It's one of the capital's most visited sites and teems with tour groups from all over China and beyond. The Summer Palace occupies an area of 2.9 square kilometers, 3/4 of which is water. Once a playground for the imperial court, it is an opulent mixture of over 3,000 structures, including palace temples, gardens, pavilions, lakes and corridors. The Summer Palace is the archetypal Chinese garden and is ranked amongst the most noted classical gardens in the world. In 1998, it was listed as a World Heritage Site by UNESCO. This area was known as the administrative area, though the Summer Palace was almost solely used as a place of relaxation for the ruling royalty. In fact, the work area was only added because an emperor enjoyed his time too much here. Therefore, he moved his office here so that he could spend as much time as possible. You can spot the administrative area from the decorations and symbols outside. On average, more than 30,000 people visit here a day, so don't be surprised to find big crowds right from the opening time at 6 AM up to the closing of the park at 9 PM. Now when you come to the Summer Palace, I thoroughly recommend that you spend at least half a day here, simply because there are so many things to see. Now, I've been taken around to an area that's almost solely dedicated to living, having fun, relaxing, eating and drinking. And there's a tiny bit that's dedicated to working. So that suits me fine. Plenty of play and really not that much work. I'll keep going. Just so you know, I did manage to avoid hitting the little boy. Stroll around the Hall of Happiness and Longevity. It's decorated with many period pieces. Thanks to the artifacts, the trees and the feng shui, the atmosphere in this park is extremely soothing. Despite the big crowds, there are a few quiet spots, so when you find one, take it all in like I am. I'm in the living quarters, which might as well have the motto, no work and lots of play. This suited me just fine. It also leads onto the Changlan, which means literally the long corridor. This shaded walkway is decorated with some 10,000 painted scenes, each one different, and sits alongside the refreshing looking Kunming Lake. Feeling hungry? I always am. So head to the Imperial Restaurant. Its Chinese name is Tingli Guan, which basically means listen to the birds singing hall. Did you hear that? That wasn't edited in, I swear. Anyway, it's grand and you can even sit at a chair or table once used by emperors and empresses. A restaurant like this requires prior reservation, and by that I don't mean ringing up the day before. Interestingly enough, you don't order any of the food. What you do is you dictate your price range and the exquisitely crafted foods are chosen for you. My price range, unfortunately, dictated some noodles from a smaller restaurant outside, but I was happy to see the true food of royalty. Look how delicately made everything is. It seems almost more like art than food. Personally, I'd feel guilty ruining such masterpieces with my mouth, though being the polite gentleman I am, if I was offered a taste, I wouldn't turn it down. I am starving, but I've been told this is strictly off limits, purely for your viewing pleasure rather than my eating pleasure. So I'm gonna be a good boy. I'm gonna be a good boy. Good boy. Okay, don't blame me for accidentally putting that piece of art into my stomach. I think it's safer there. The Kunming Lake is one of the main attractions of the Summer Palace. It can be explored by boat during the summer or skated over during the winter. Hire out a boat and you can lethargically spend a day on the water or explore the sights on the lake. You can hire out small two-man boats all the way up to large party boats. Don't miss the highly photogenic 17-arch bridge or the stunning Jade Belt Bridge. As there's so much to see in this area, don't fall into the trap of spending all your time on the water. Make your way up to the Buddhist Incense Tower. It's one of the best preserved and brightest parts of the Summer Palace. Above all, it's the highest, so for all you budding amateur photographers out there, do not miss this one. You can capture an entire area ranked amongst the most noted and classical gardens of the world. There are plenty of things to see all the way to the top. Artifacts dating back over many dynasties are on display for everyone's enjoyment. Strangely enough, 100 years ago, they didn't think to put in any elevators here. It's a steep climb, but you will be rewarded with sweeping views of the whole grounds, as well as a glimpse of the fragrant hills. It's a perfect time to sit, catch your breath, and take in the beauty of this magnificent place. It's simply stunning. Like the icing on a cake, it was a perfect ending to a great day. Unfortunately, that's all the time we've got left today, but I really hope you've enjoyed our little insight into this part of Beijing, an area where tradition and modernity mix seamlessly together, where a rapidly increasing influx of foreigners can enjoy the fast-paced, technology-orientated focus of Zhongwansun, whilst also but a few kilometres away coming around for a stroll around the Summer Palace and witnessing tradition at its very best. I'm Mark Edwards, and I'll see you very soon on another episode of Travelodge. On the next episode of Travelodge, come and see the hidden treasures to be found on the outskirts of Beijing. Sweat your way to the top of the Great Wall, take in the culture at Beijing's oldest temple, and travel back in time to a traditionally preserved village.